So bakit kami sa ano tawag dito?
But I'm glad I had the tour bus. I'm not saying better. Because then I would have had to move. They say we got to get out of this condo. You know what I mean? I know. Yeah. And the Skyway Bridge.
Yeah, exactly. Kind busy.
Yeah, thank you. You got it.
I'm like busy. I'm like, that's what it is.
Yeah, you wouldn't have that old expression, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Right, welcome to famous Hollywood. I'm your driver and your guide. Proud to announce I've been driving the tour for 10 years. And now it's only on the weekends, only when it's busy. No more waiting around on slow days for your boy George here. And if it's not busy, I'm not here. But the weekends are busy. I thank goodness everything's opened up again. So here I am again today. Wear a seatbelt, make sure you do. Make sure Hollywood and Highland in 1960, you know, she goes back a ways if you're not familiar. She was an Oscar-winning actress. To have your name put and kept here. Back in 1960, the first celebrities like Joanne Woodward got their names for free, 200 people. Now, if you are approved for a star, you earn it, you have to pay $50,000, okay? Yeah, so it's not free. It's up to $50,000. And believe me, even with that big price tag, there are more celebrities requesting stars than there are to go around. Yeah, the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce is pretty stingy. I'll just tell you about the stars on the sidewalk. I want to show you Hollywood High School here. This is a public high school, and those portraits are there for a reason. If you go around all the walls, there's more. Those are all former students that got famous here, okay? Like John Ritter, Mickey Rooney, Rudolph Valentino, Liz Taylor, Judy Garland, many others. Cheryl Lawrence Fishburne. I mean, a lot. And it's just a public high school. Look around. It's all about the location, just like in real estate, right? But what I was going to say about the famous sidewalk is you have to be famous for about 10 years. Or, you know, you're not even eligible. And the Chamber of Commerce just, you know, is in no hurry. We've already done 2,700 names, and there's really not too many rules here. Okay. Okay. You know Marilyn Monroe has a suite here, right? Yeah, she loved this place. Now, contrary to popular belief, she didn't die here. Right. But she loved this hotel. She was a regular. So was Frank Sinatra. Oh, they loved it. You know, when they were more like single and young, they used to live there. Just like the Cecil Hotel in downtown also has a big reputation of being haunted. But I'll tell you briefly how that happened is because in the old days, Hollywood was in the middle of nowhere. And like, they would go out for breakfast, I'm serious, and they'd leave the TV on, and they would disappear. Popular, and you're in politics or business, and you go to the most famous hotel on the West Coast here, which is in the middle of nowhere. It could be dangerous, right? And yeah, you're unaccounted for, except by the locals here. And they're Here's the Guitar Center on the right. You see the handprints on the ground, people kneeling down, see that? Beatles, Elvis, Michael Jackson, for real. You know, Hollywood's a music capital there, in addition to the TV and movie capital. So the Grammys are always held here, so all the high rollers in music, they go by the Guitar Center, donate their handprints, gold records, autographed instruments. Let's go. Rolls Royce only $1,200 a night. And I got a $25 off coupon you can use today. But you know what the bad news is really, at least with the Rolls? It only gets 8 miles per gallon. And out in Beverly Hills, they're getting $5.50 a gallon. So, good luck. But anyway, they really do. And you can rent a private 1997. case is still unsolved. And, you know, I don't want to make this a crime scene tour, but many people believe the police were in on the murder. And they know who did it, but, you know, they don't want to expose them because they were in on it. And so, you know, that's kind of typical Hollywood story. And you know, up on the right, we'll see it again later. It's the Iron Man house, Tony Stark's. That's a real house. It's also a movie location way up on the top on the right. See the White House? It's a real home. In fact, Spielberg owned it, and it's now owned by a billionaire's daughter. Her name is Megan Ellison, and her father's Larry Ellison, the CEO of Warner. And he's the founder of the firm. Fortune 500. And then next on the right is Sunset Car Wash. This is from the movie Car Wash starring Richard Pryor back in 1976. And a lot of skateboarders, they're not here today. They climb up on the roof. You see there's a skateboard ramp a little bit? I can see it behind the red light. And they do these videos they send into the show Ridiculousness. Have you seen that show with Rob Dyrdek? No, I'm serious. They're out here with video cameras. There's no one that's probably too hot. Black Lives Matter on the right. Yeah. And here's the Laugh Factory on the right. This is live stand-up comedy since 1979. Jim Carrey, Kevin Hart, you know, a lot of others got famous over there. And it's a live show every night. In fact, how many did Dane book? Dane's headlining tonight. He's more of a... I never thought of him as a comedian, but he does a lot of live comedy. He's pretty big movie star. Everybody knows Dane Cook, right? A little bit? Isn't that movie with this is a college? And then how many have heard of the Chateau Mermon Hotel? Good place to meet and see celebrities, and so is the Chateau Mermon up here on the right. This is where John Belushi died in 1982. This one's pretty popular with the rich and famous, like the Roosevelt. There's a lot of red carpet events and stuff here. See it on the right? I would definitely go hang out there. Even if it's for just coffee and tea, I would get that one in. I'd get the Roosevelt Inn and the Chateau Mermon. They're two of the most famous hotels in Hollywood history. Yeah, they are. And so, you know, you want to fit them in a little bit at least. Even if it's just for tea or coffee or a happy hour or something. But you don't have to spend the night to visit. Just, so it's been in more movies than the others. It's called the Standard Hotel on the left. It's been in Catch Me If You Can, with Leonardo DiCaprio, Ocean's 11, Night at Dusk, The Green Hornets. And then Carney's Restaurant on the right. It's been in a lot of stuff, including the movie Entourage. Also, here on the right is the Saddle Ranch. This has been in Desperate Housewives, Sex and the City, had its own reality show called The Saddle Ranch. This place is always busy. Yeah, it really is. Day and night. And then next coming on the right is the Comedy Store. Eddie Murphy, Whoopi Goldberg got famous at the Comedy Store here on the right. You know, it's like the Laugh Factory. It's a different venue. And then there's this new hotel on the left called The One. This one's contemporary. It's 4 structures on the left. 2 are hotel suites. The next 2 past this are condos. And it's got the number 1 posted outside, so you remember. And it's an MGM resort, but without all the gambling. Because they don't allow that kind of stuff here in Hollywood. Freest state in America in terms of freedoms. Nevada has legalized prostitution, legalized gambling, open container, the valleys. And here's the shopping mall at the One Hotel. Here comes the food court on the left. Like I said, it's a pretty spacious place. Kind of a fun place to visit. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Here comes Mel's Diner on the right. Red umbrellas, American flags outside from the TV series Happy Days. Right there, open 24/7. Next on the right is Wahlburgers. Wahlberg hangs out here a little bit. I've seen him a few times on the right at that sidewalk cafe. Wahlburgers. Here's Sunset Plaza. This really picks up at night when it cools down. It's even busy right now. But this Sunset Plaza with these sidewalk cafes, you get the nice weather at night, you know. You can sit out here and food and beverage. Sunset Boulevard. And then coming up on the right's the old Tower Records building. This is like Hollywood High School or something. This place has been around forever. All the kids loved it so much. When it went obsolete as a record store, they turned it into an event center. That's what it really is right now. Big red carpet events are held there. It's so famous from the old days. And then the Viper Room over here on the left. This is the Rock and Roll Club where River Phoenix, Oscar-nominated movie star, died of a drug overdose in '93. And Johnny Depp owned the club and was present the night River died. Winona Ryder was also present. That was Johnny's fiance, and the Red Hot Chili Peppers were performing that night. It's a very historic death. Really. And Joaquin was there. Joaquin, the younger brother, wasn't even in show business. But you know, River told him, it's a touching story. River, right before he died, said, when you go Rock and Roll Club, that's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Jimi Hendrix, Jim Morrison, Guns N' Roses, all the way down the line. Rock and roll. And here comes the Roxy on the right. This is where John Belushi got the drugs that killed him. And the girl that sold him the acid went to prison for manslaughter. Yeah, illicit drug sale, resulting in a death. Right here, the Roxy. And then here's the Rainbow Room. Anyone ever heard of this restaurant? This place is a legend. If you just walk around the walls, look carefully, every legend that's been here, which is all of them, like Elvis, John Lennon, they all carve their names in the bricks in the restaurant, and then they get mortared in the wall, if you notice the bricks there. Here's the old Key Club on the right, which was the Roxbury in the movie Night at the Roxbury. Right here on the right, it's now a hip-hop club, One Oak. And Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion are all from there. That's big money club there, the One Oak. But if you see the movie now, it's a lot of real estate around here. It's a lot. And she owns like the whole penthouse floor up there. And so like a close friend of hers from Canada, Justin Bieber's lived up there. Celebrity, somewhat. And that's a pretty popular spot, but it is a condo, it's not a hotel. Boa's Steakhouse on the left, where Michael Jackson had his last name. You're not only in a different city, or well, Hollywood's not really a city anymore, but you're in a different world. This was long before Hollywood. This was established for the rich by the rich. William Doheny. He set this up. He had a vision, and it rings true today. Small city, no urbanization, no apartments, just big single-family homes, deed restrictions, you know, no little tiny little subdivisions or things like that here. And he forbid any entertainment or tourist attraction, and this charter continues. Only 30,000 people are allowed to live. Traffic offense, because they do, the police here, in there, and many others. I had a guy in my van the other day. When we got there, which will be shortly, I said to everyone in the van, anyone ever been here before? And he said, I've been one time. And I said, really? Did you see this? Any celebrities? He said, well, yeah, there was little vans. Where they always stayed, you know, before they built big mansions on their own. Here on the right, Ozzy Osbourne used to live, the Black Sabbath rock star. He's still alive, well. He lived there, but he still lives in Hollywood. Here was Tom Cruise, married 3 times. This is where he lived on the right with his second wife, Nicole Kidman. And then a little show at Roosevelt's, where the Shirley Temple was discovered, right? And that cocktail called the Shirley Temple was created at the Roosevelt Hotel for her. Yeah, because she was only 5 years old, and that's where the auditions were held, and where she lived there most of her life since she was a little girl. Just passed away about 10 years ago. When I started driving in tours, I believe she was still alive. It's been remodeled a little bit. And Shaquille O'Neal, you know Shaq, right? NBA legend. He took a position with the Sacramento Kings up in the front office. So he sold his place on the right. He just bought it for $72 million. Gone. He's gone. On the right. See that? $72 million. Shaq. Pool. And we've been there enough. She goes, wow, that is the pool. So guess what? We turned it up a little bit from a drug overdose. 1969, and you know she lived there with her Academy Award winning daughter Liza Minnelli. It's like 15 minutes, but it just caught my eye in this band. You know, so I mean it is legend. It's like, you know, and is it exciting there? Well, not really. I mean, if you see celebrities it is, but it's just historic and legend, and it is beautiful. A lot of flower arrangements and old fixtures and marble, you know. It's like where the richest people in the world have been going for over a century. It is not the hotel where Whitney Houston died. Thank you. That was the Beverly Hilton. Thank you. Whitney died on February 11, 2012 at the Beverly Hilton Hotel in room 464. And she was 48 years old, Grammy winner from Newark, New Jersey. That crime scene tour blows everyone's minds. Speaking of crime scenes, oh my gosh. Another one. What are we doing? Alright, now this isn't even in Beverly Hills. This is called like Holmby Hills in Bel Air. But I can't resist this neighborhood. Now it starts off kind of humorous because Paris Hilton, they were going along real good. And then Kim Kardashian and the Jenners move into this house on the left. You see here? On this corner. Paris is on that corner on the right. Kimmy's on the left. So guess what? The two girls hook up, and you know the rest of the story. Kim starts hanging out with Paris on her coattails. They become BFFs, and then Paris finally tells her, Kim, you need to make a sex tape. And she did. And the rest is history. Because you know Paris had a sex tape, remember? It was, what do you call it, tutoring Kim. And then here on the right, Elvis the Pelvis Presley used to live. This is a huge secluded estate. Now it is true, Elvis died in 1977 at Graceland in Memphis. But he had lived here for a year before traveling back to Graceland, where he died. And the reason he was here, he was signed to a big movie deal. He did, remember Beach Blanket Bingo and all these movies? He had turned his singing career into a movie career. And this house was then sold to Telly Savalas, remember? Who Loves You, Baby? Kojak. And then he died, and the survivors, his family lived here. This is a Telly Savalas estate. And strange but true, here on the left is the 14-bathroom, 10-bedroom house where Michael Jackson died. Michael Jackson, the king of pop, died right across the street from the former home of the king of rock when he died at Graceland. Michael named himself the king of pop after Elvis called himself the king of rock. Michael named his ranch Neverland after Elvis named his Graceland. Remember, they had so much in common. They looked the same. They danced the same, remember? And they had one more major thing in common. Anybody remember? Michael married Elvis's daughter.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Lisa Marie Presley. And a lot of people, you want to talk crime scenes, some people believe Michael Jackson actually committed suicide here, because he was afraid of going to prison for the rest of his life. And he found strength in being across from his old buddy, would have been his father-in-law, Elvis. Believe it or not, Elvis mentored Michael a lot, and Michael had once said he wished his father was Elvis Presley. And true. And that's the bedroom Michael died in right there. There it is. I know this house well. 14 bathrooms, 10 bedrooms, $125,000 a month to rent it before his big show. You know the big show? This is it in London, remember?
This is it.
That's why he got murdered. Thank you. This is it. That's why he got murdered. He backed out of the show. And he was so heavily in debt, and he had secured all the debt with this to do the services with life insurance with double indemnity, meaning if you die, there was a civil war, and Dick Cheney, the vice president of the United States to Bush, was a drug addict. And he met Murray in Grenada, and he got him to come to the United States, Washington. 11 months in jail, but supposedly he made $40 million. Yeah, that's what, $1 million a week or something. This is Snoop Dogg's on the right. This is legend for musicians. Elvis, Snoop, Michael. Yeah. And we've seen Will.i.am from the Black Eyed Peas here. This gate's opened up at night. Those gates are open. If you want to party, go there. Gates are open. But you know, a lot of people don't appreciate hearing this side of Michael and Dr. Murray. They find it offensive, but I just don't base it on what I read. I talk to people. I'm not meaning to call Dick Cheney a drug addict, but he passed away. It sold for $200 million. You could drive around this huge $200 million estate. It's not going to look any different than that gate, just a bigger one. That's all. Because you could go way out to the west. We're not going that far. Most of the tour vans, you haven't even seen any tour vans around here. Michael Jackson's is a stretch. I just squeeze it in this neighborhood because it's so famous. Playboy, Michael, Elvis, all these homes. You know, but you don't see too many tour vans this far west. They mostly stay inside Beverly Hills. This one's Eddie Murphy. Eddie only has 10 children. Yeah. I think these statues are one for each child. Yeah. Now we're going back into Beverly Hills. This where Michael died technically is called Homey Hills. Yeah. Well, part of Bel Air, Homey Hills. And the Playboy Mansion's also in Homey Hills. It's not in Beverly Hills. You just saw the sign in the Beverly Hills. Just over the... He wasn't not supposed to be charged. That went wrong. He got charged. But the prosecutors made sure the highest level would be manslaughter in the second degree, which is considered an accidental death. And the life insurance has to pay off. And then Dr. Murray also had malpractice insurance. It was a big day. And the cops, they sit right behind these stop signs. They watch everything. I've been out here for 10 years. Yeah, I do fine with the police. Too slow, too fast. Tour vans go around. It's a couple of times. Albert Chateau, he's in his 80s. He's funny. He used to live in this birdhouse up there. And then this one used to be Frank Sinatra, first home. Right there, yeah it is. See the statue? He's from Hoboken, right across from Manhattan. And you know what? In all the years I drove by here, I've never seen anybody home. It's like they forgot they owned it. And then here's what $6 million to buy on the corner. Not on the left, but on the right. This one right here, the yellow one. It's a $6 million. Let's face it, there's 2,000 billionaires in the world. You put it back on the market, someone gives them 7-8 million if they decide they don't want to bother. Now this big house behind might be right. So, with Dakota Fanning, Michael Myers, Alex Baldwin, remember? And Kelly Preston. She just passed away, John Travolta. Drive, also known as Rodeo Drive. Who wants to go shopping? Well, let me tell you something. Go before 7 o'clock because all the shops close. Beverly Hills does not allow any shopping after dark. 7 days a week, that's it. Nope, ghost town at night. Now, if you're a fan of the movie Pretty Woman, where Julia Roberts tells the girls, big mistake, it's this first boutique here on the right called Blue Beach. Well, it's called Blue Beach in 91. Right there. That's where that went down. And then, if you're curious where Richard Gere and Julia Roberts went shopping together in the movie Pretty Woman, it's up here at the Ralph Lauren. Those are two of the locations from the movie. How many have been shopping out here before? Anybody? Well, the most expensive boutique in the world, allegedly, is the black and yellow House of Bijan coming up on the right. It's not open to the public. It's members only. Membership is only $50,000 one time. And there's Mr. Bijan's $1 million yellow matching Rolls Royce. And if you want to see it from the inside, watch the movie The Billionaires Boys Club with Kevin Spacey. And I mentioned Kevin Spacey. The movie was pulled out of theaters because of allegations against Kevin Spacey. And but I saw it on Showtime, you know, or one of those. And you can probably see it on YouTube. But it features Kevin comes here and shops in the movie, and Mr. Bijan plays himself in the movie. So it'll be interesting if you watch it after. It's a good movie. You know, it highlights corruption in Hollywood. But we already talked about it. Now, there's really not that much to do in Beverly Hills except like go shopping or dining or have plastic surgery. That's about it. But if it's plastic surgery, there's a big one on the right next to G-Star Law.
Jesus loves you all. You're special.
Sprinkles is nearby, but not on the route. If you recall, that's like the pastry and ice cream. Yeah, cupcakes. Thank you. My daughter turned me on.
Katuhin na. Wala na akong ano.
Now we do.
Napaka-traffic dito sa ano na to, lugar na to. Traffic ko. Nice.
Hot dog, fruit. Big around, hot dog guys, fruit. One yellow pineapple, yellow hot dog. Sweet and spicy. Yeah. You want try? Gusto mo ba isa? They dropped us off here. Now I'm trying to find.
And he can open up blind eyes. Let's go! He can cast out the devils. And he can write your name in heaven. Yes, Mom. That's the most important thing. He will give you eternal life. That's who Jesus is. He will give you eternal life. He will give you eternal life. The Bible says, as many as believed him, to them he gave power to become the sons of God.
Hindi. Sa ano yan sa Bangkanya? Trees Company. Sila rin isa-isa na sa pagkakalisip ko.
Them. Hosea Bear's the hairdresser, the movie stars. I'll just tell you right now, around 7 o'clock, which is usually when I come through here, my last tour, it's just after dark. 2 weeks ago, we saw Jay Leno at Mr. Chow's. And then last week, we saw Alice Cooper at Mr. Chow's. And then last week, the tour before that, on Camden, right next to Mr. Chow's, I didn't even recognize her. I still don't even know her name, but a couple people on the bus said, oh my God, I just had mentioned, okay, we're going to go by Mr. Chow's. We see a lot of famous people here on Camden at night. Hosea Bear, and then bam, someone goes, look, there's so-and-so. And it's like, oh, you know, and I don't even remember the name. You know, she was a new star. You know, I even asked her, who is she? And they said, oh, she's in that new sitcom, like, you know, such and such and such and such. So I couldn't even take it in. They were talking so fast to each other, you know, everyone in the band.
Dito kami sa ano, Beverly Hills.
But we're going to Camden now. Camden's hot. Now here's the Beverly Wilshire from the movie Pretty Woman, okay? In 1991. This is the hotel where a lot of the scenes are shot. And Richard Gere is Edward. Vivian is Julia Roberts. You had a problem here? Wow. Well, you know what? A lot of people still get married up there. You see behind the American flag? We see weddings going on there. I guess that's all related to the movie Pretty Woman. The romantic comedy. We do see wedding gowns and tuxedos up there. Huh? Here's downtown Beverly Hills. I already told you out west, Whitney Houston dead at the Beverly Hilton. And then also Wyona Ryder, the kleptomaniac, arrested over here at Saks Fifth Avenue department store. Yeah. And she had to serve 500 hours of community service to avoid jail. There's Ocean Prime Restaurant. That's fairly hot. I'd say cool, really. It's warm. Here's hot. Mr. Chow's on the right. Now, they must have $5,000 floral arrangement out here for dinner. They bring out this huge rose garden and set it up. And these little fire heaters. I don't think you're going to need them tonight. They put away. And they just sit right here. Jay Leno sitting here. Alice Cooper. And then we get up to here, Hosea Bear to the movie stars, hairdresser on the right. They come in and out of that place. Camden's hot. And then we saw the girl I mentioned, I don't know her name, right here at Brighton. She was walking the same way we're driving on the right. And everyone, we were stopped here, right here. And they were, oh my gosh. So I'm saying this, Camden's hot. If it wasn't, I wouldn't even bring you here. I don't take shortcuts. Everything's optimized, you know. I've been driving here long enough. I get familiar with a place and it pays off for me. I just keep coming back and it gets better and better. So Camden's hot. You know, if you've been, you know, Beverly Hills is an English colony. Camden's from London. Brighton, that cross street, is from southern England, down near Plymouth, where the Mayflower sailed. So this is not, most of California's Spanish background. Beverly Hills is colonial, English colony. You know, it's got that old world kind of style to it. You notice a lot of the architecture's colonial. Here's another Beverly Hills sign on the left. That's Beverly Gardens Park. It's just a different sign than we saw before. This comes the old town hall building up here on the right. This might look familiar, the old one. from the Beverly Hills Cop movies with Eddie Murphy. That's where a lot of the scenes are shot. Yeah, that's authentic. No, it's the town hall. Now, right up here on the right is the home of Lindsay Lohan in Beverly Hills. It's the police department and jail. This is where Lindsay usually stays. She's from Long Island, Nassau County. Have anybody been to Long Island? The real expensive one's Suffolk County, like Sag Harbor and Southampton. She's from Nassau County. I met her father and her in the Roosevelt Hotel one time. And I figured it was her father. I went right up to him and I said, Michael? Because she walked off with some friends. And he looked up and I said, you're the father. And he said, yeah. He says, how do you remember my name? And I was kidding with him.